From time to time, I thought I might take advantage of our video capabilities to communicate ideas that we will mutually share and suggestions that we will mutually make regarding selling Pennington Publishing materials. So I thought I'd step out into some troubled waters here for me, because I am certainly no expert on the sales side. That's why I've hired some of the best educational sales representatives in the country, you of course, who know what they're doing. But I thought I would communicate a little bit kind of from my heart as to what I think our sales philosophy really should be. So bear with me on this, and use it or lose it as it is helpful for you. First of all, I really favor a needs-based approach to selling our ELA literacy materials. It fits in nicely with our mission statement. So I'm going to read here a little bit, so this is why my eyes will look weird up here. And that is to meet the ELA literacy needs of students, parents, teachers, principals, and district personnel. Fits in also with our vision statement to enhance the quality of life and maximize opportunities for students by helping them read, write, listen, and speak well. I want to make money on our programs just as you do, but my priority is educating. My priority and passion of 30-plus years of teaching has been to change lives. And I think we can change lives of not only teachers, but also of students. Along with that, I think we need to make a difference between what would be perceived needs and actual needs. So I want to talk a little bit about, if we're going to meet needs, defining what needs really are in terms of our sales philosophy. We will not sell anything that our customers view as not being a direct need. Simply stated, but true. However, the issue is that educators don't always know what they don't know. And because of that, our role is to help them know, at times, things that they don't know. So our first role as educators and sales representatives really is to validate what the needs are, or perceived needs are, of teachers, site personnel, and district personnel, and then to be able to clarify exactly what their needs are. So that's our first role. The perceived needs, and I'll let you skim over this list a little bit, and it's certainly a partial list, but I think, in my experience, really have to do with a lot of different people's agendas. And we are not without our own influences in the educational community. And so there are so many pressures that are brought to bear, not only on our students, but also on our parental community, our teacher community, our principals, and district personnel. And they have to deal with these perceived needs. So it's certainly the case that outside pressures can contribute to perceived needs. Now, I mentioned our first goal of validating exactly what the needs are as they're expressed, say, during a principal visit, or an email to a teacher, or a pop-in to a district curriculum professional, to validate that need and to meet that need, and sometimes we have to clarify that need as well. But our second role is to recast that perceived need. Now, we got to first validate and then recast, because we're always building on people's own experience. We've always done it this way, and from that point of view and that position, people will adjust or change their perceived needs. I really want to stress that I think that recasting their perceived needs is not a sales technique. It's not a coercion, bait or switching. It's not doing anything to redirect their thoughts to our own agenda, but it's trying to help them take their perceived needs and connect them to a framework of actual needs. And in doing so, if we're able to recast those perceived needs to actual needs, I think we can offer our program solutions to specifically meet those needs. So we're working from their own agenda. We're being great listeners, of course. We're providing the resources that they need to meet their needs, but we're also recasting that need to be the actual needs that students and teachers face, and be able to match our program resources accordingly. I'm a firm believer that people have got to see them in order to know them. When we show the program resources of Teaching the Language strand, I think it speaks volume. And it also informs teachers and also recasts their initial perceived needs into, oh yeah, this is exactly what I want. Additionally, using student data, it's just the case that principals, district personnel, parents, and of course teachers really are engaged with students. We're in this business because we love working with kids. And when we see actual needs brought about by student data, we want to be fixers. We want to fix the problem. We want to be about becoming change agents to make that student have a greater opportunity, a greater quality of life by learning the material that we present. The Pennington Publishing website offers a wealth of materials, including free assessments, grammar usage mechanics, spelling assessments are all available for teachers. I suggest the idea that one of our sales reps came up with about putting these assessments on flash drives and giving them to teachers and challenging them, hey, if you got a few minutes, take time to give one of these assessments to your class. They're whole class assessments. I would be glad to go ahead and score them for you. They're simple to do. And let's take a look at your actual needs of your kids. Once teachers see the actual needs of their kids on reliable, internally and externally valid assessments, they want to do something about those relative deficits. So actual needs of student data. It's so important that we recognize that there are not only specific instructional needs that need to be validated and recast. They're also personal needs. And I tell you, the teachers need so much encouragement. They need so much respect. And they also need training in being able to do what they want to be able to do. So part of our role of educators and educational sales representatives is to provide that encouragement, that respect, and that training. So I can't overemphasize that. It's a lonely profession in large degree, serving as a teacher. Now, teachers love to be independent, but they all have doubts, especially in the area of the language strand that we're concentrating on. Teachers have not been trained in grammar, in usage, in mechanics, in spelling, and vocabulary. Very few of them have. And so there are lots of insecurities. Our materials are user-friendly. They're instructional. The instructions and directions are written clearly. They're scripted lessons throughout the program, perfect for new teachers and veterans alike. Even the veterans, they love the scripted lessons. Of course, they'll read them once and then ignore them. Perfect, though, for all levels of teaching. Our learning tools from the student side, they've been field tested, kids got to understand the directions, because the kids got to be able to follow through and adequately work on their own independently. And we've rigorously gone through and revised our curriculum to make that happen. The actual needs need to be measurable, and our progress monitoring matrices will provide those actual needs to show where students once were in terms of the diagnostic assessments to where they've progressed as they've mastered individualized instruction. The actual needs need to be considered in terms of use of our program as resource or a program in and of itself. Now, we have some veteran teachers are so fully capable of teaching vocabulary. They may opt to not choose the vocabulary worksheets. They may opt to teach some program resources and not others. Others are going to teach every jot and tittle of the program. And so when we spend time with teachers, we need to adjust to our audience, and even though we call it a supplementary program, it can be a group of resources to pick and choose among, or it can also be an A to Z program to work with.